So we join the action here live as it's the Cincy Speed who just put up 2 more, and they trail SMAC Akron 7-6. And there's a timeout on the floor. So as soon as we join the action, it's time to take a timeout. We'll be back with more right here at GBA TV. And back to the action here. It is now a 9-6 ball game. Again, we're efforting to get rosters and all that kind of thing. We do have rosters, and we'll be updating you as we go along here. But back to the action here. That is early on the drive. She puts it up, and that's no good. Back to Akron now. SMAC Akron has it. And on the other end, on the drive, putting it up and maybe getting fouled on her way up. Yes, indeed, that will be a foul. And that'll be a foul on Cincy Speed. That's a foul on number 24, Helton. So Juliana Helton called with that foul. And it'll be Crookston going to the line for a pair.
I started copying him, and then I realized he got him.
And that first shot is up, and that is good. So it's now a 10-6 ball game. SMAC Akron back up by 4.
Don't look at the numbers, they're messed up.
And that shot is going to be short, and it's going to be rebounded by Early. Early has it. Early pushing it back down the floor. Early over to Brorman. Brorman has it. Brorman with the drive, and she has it poked away from her. Back comes SMAC Akron. Akron up top. Here they go. Up in the low post, and no good. And it's going to be rebounded. Well, it's not going to be rebounded by anybody. There's a foul on Akron. And so, checking back into the game, McKnight, and checking out Crookston. And for Cincy Speed, Brorman checks out, and I do believe Mahoney, no, Wood just checked back in. Inbounds it comes, it's poked away, it's stolen away by Akron, then it goes back to Cincy Speed. Outlet pass, 2-on-1 advantage here for Cincy Speed. It's early up and no good, and it's rebounded by SMAC Akron. And there's a foul. That foul on number 10, and that is Josie Early. So Early called with that foul. And Stoley's going to check into the game for Cincy Speed, checking out Early. So I do believe that Early got in some foul trouble there, and it will be Stoley checking in. And we are at under 11 minutes to go, just a little over 10 and a half to go actually here in this first half of action. 8th grade girls basketball here on GBA TV between SMAC Akron and Cincy Speed. Over it comes onto the right wing, into the right corner. That's a three-point attempt. That's up. That's no good, and it's going to be rebounded by the Speed. And they have it, and that's ahead to Mahoney. Mahoney up top, and it's underneath the hoop into the low post. Nice pass by Mahoney to Tebby. Into the short corner, that's up, and that is no good. Rebounded by SMAC Akron, and Akron's got it. It's a 1-on-2 here. SMAC Akron all the way, no good, and it's rebounded by number 51, Augsburger. Augsburger, and then it's stolen away. SMAC Akron has it back. Underneath the hoop, they come up, and good! And one. That's Schaefer. So Schaefer for SMAC Akron puts it up and in. And now it is a 12-6 game with a chance for Akron to go up by 7. Shot up and short. Rebounded by Augsburger. Augsburger has it. Ahead it comes. Up ahead to Mahoney underneath. She's up and she's good. So 12-8 now. It's back to a 4-point advantage for SMAC Akron. That's a shot. That's up and no good. Rebounded by Akron, and on the offensive side, they put it back up. They're not able to put it back in. Rebounded by the Cincy Speed. Up ahead they come. That's Stoley with it. Stoley back to Augsburger. On the right wing. That's Mahoney for three. Rims out. And underneath, that's Wood with the rebound. She puts it up and in. Nice offensive rebound there for Wood. It's 12-10. And stolen away by Stoley. So Stoley has it for Cincy Speed. Up ahead she comes. And underneath, that's to Mahoney. And there's a right corner shot for three. Drained. That is number 12, Mahoney, with that three. And with that three, the Cincy Speed take the lead by one. It's 13-12. The Speed lead SMAC Akron. Into the left corner. Underneath. And there's a tie-up, but somehow able to get that ball off and up and in. What a shot there by Kirks. And it is once again an Akron lead now, 14-13. Helton and Borman check back in. And for the Speed, checking out Tebby, as well as Augsburger. Over to Helton in the left corner. Helton is going to drive it, put it up, and no good. She faked the pass, and it was a nice look by her, just wasn't able to finish. SMAC Akron on the rebound. They're up ahead. On the other end, SMAC Akron drives, and they're going to be called for a travel. That was number 13, Benninger. And so, it's ahead to Wood. To Borman. Borman thinks about a three, almost traveled with it, and it was tipped and out of bounds. It's going to come back to the Speed. Right corner shot for Helton. That's up. That's no good. Rebounded by the Speed, and that's going to be a foul, I do believe, on Wood. Yes, that's a foul on Riley Wood. So back it comes to SMAC Akron. Over to the right wing. Underneath it comes, and that's going to be poked away. Back comes the Speed on offense now. Speed down one. It's Borman underneath, and she's up. She's no good. And she followed her own shot, but she was on the end line there when she gathered that rebound, and so it's going to come back. It will be, once again, Akron's ball. So it's Akron's ball. They have a one-point advantage, and there's a shot. That's up, and that is a three-pointer. That falls for SMAC Akron, and it is a 17-13 lead now as Cincy Speed experiencing some pressure in the backcourt. Mahoney tries to get the ball ahead, and that's going to be a foul on SMAC Akron. That will be on Orejas. And so it's Cincy Speed on offense now. Over to Borman. Borman on the right wing. Into the right corner to Helton. Underneath it comes back to Borman. Has some problems handling that pass. And so it's back to SMAC Akron. SMAC Akron back on offense. Up ahead they come. Driving a baseline, putting it up, and getting fouled on her way up is that shooter. So she will go to the line now, and she will shoot a pair.
Coach, that's two.
And that'll be Rodriguez stepping up to the line for a pair. First shot up and first shot good. Second shot up, and that one rims out. Rebounded by the Speed. Borman in front of us. Bounces ahead to Augsburger. Augsburger passes it outside, wide open if she can gather it. Decides to pass it back up top to Borman, who's going to drive it, pass into the corner. That's a shot, and that's no good. And that's Augsburger on the rebound. And she passes it ahead, and I do believe it's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to go out of bounds before an Akron player touched it, and so it goes back to SMAC Akron off of the speed. As Mace is going to check back in here. And Stoley's going to sit. So SMAC Akron with a 5-point advantage over the Cincy Speed, who we saw yesterday in a very tight battle with Mid-Ohio. And that foul on number 12, Mahoney. Madeline Mahoney gets called with that foul. And we just got notified that we have new notifications on Facebook on this laptop. So if you heard a weird noise, that's what that was. And that will be Schaefer at the line for Akron, and she sinks the front end of a 1-and-1. 19-13 the score. A lot of action here in this one between two very good 8th grade teams. Second shot up. That falls as well. So she goes 2 for 2 at the line, 20-13. Now the score. It's a 7-point lead for SMAC Akron. Full court press. Up ahead, Cincy Speed. It's to Brewerman. Brewerman up top, underneath. That's a shot. That's up. That's no good for Mahoney. She had a good opportunity there, just wasn't able to capitalize. Back to SMAC Akron. SMAC Akron on offense. Up ahead they come now. Into the right quarter. 3-point shot. No good. Rebounded by Augsburger. Augsburger has it for Cincy Speed. Over to Brewerman. Up ahead it comes to Wood, and Wood loses it underneath. And did she have it knocked out of her hand? Yes, she did. So it will remain on that end. So inbounding it will be Mays. And inbounds it comes to Brewerman. Brewerman on the right corner. I should say the right wing. Underneath to Brewerman. No, to Augsburger, I'm sorry. That is up. That's no good. Rebounded by Brewerman, who puts it up and in. So good job there on the offensive glass. Good teamwork there between Brewerman and Augsburger, making it happen. 20-15 now the score. Akron leads the Speed by 5. Underneath, up, no good, but there is a foul, and so it will be Schaefer stepping back up to the line. We've seen her there a couple of times already, and back she comes. She's going to be shooting 2 free throws. Pledger checking in for the Speed, and it'll be Mahoney sitting. There's a shot, yeah, it's good. So Schaefer doing a good job of that foul line here, making a living there so far. Second shot up for Schaefer, and she makes it look easy. 22-15 the score. Akron over Cincy. 7-point lead. Augsburger almost has it stolen away from Gorman. That foul on number 11, Schaefer, as Pledger will be inbounding it right in front of our table. So the Speed down 7. Looking for somebody to inbound it to. She has it stolen away by Schaefer. So Schaefer, who just committed that foul, is going to take it to the other end, put it up, and one. Nope, they're going to say it's a charge. So good job there by Paige Brewerman to position her body and take that charge and to wave off the bucket. It is an offensive foul on Akron. Pledger up ahead to Brewerman. Saves it from hitting our equipment. Over to Mace and out of bounds. Nope, it's going to be a shot by Wood in the short corner. That's up, that's no good, and it's going to be rebounded by the Speed. Over comes to Mays, underneath. Back outside to Mays. That's a 3-point shot, and it's good. Good ball movement there by the Speed. 22-18 the score. It's a 4-point lead for Akron. Good game here. It's an 8th grade girls game here on GBA TV. Glad to have you along for the ride. And there's a foul on the Cincy Speed. That's a foul on Paige Brewerman. Schaefer at the line, and she keeps on getting it done at the free throw line. It's back out to a 5-point lead. Tell you what, this level, you see a lot of people who don't practice the free throws, and then it's obvious the ones who do. And As soon as I say that, she misses that free throw, but she's done a darn good job at that foul line here this afternoon. And there's a steal in the backcourt, and that's stolen away. And there's a timeout on the floor with 4:19 to play here in this opening half. It's a 23-18 game. Akron leads the Speed back after this. Back to the action here. It's 23-18. SMAC Akron leads the Cincy Speed with a little over 4 minutes to play here in this 8th grade girls game. Day 2 of the Celtic Classic Tournament here at Dublin Jerome High School. Jeremy Scott at the commentary table. Kayla Cazell on the camera. There's a 3-point shot by SMAC Akron. That's up. That's no good. Rebounded by Augsburger. Trapped in the backcourt, the Speed. Trying to get it across. That's early with it. She's going to have to work to get it across, and I do believe she is fouled. That foul on number 10, and that is Henniger. And so Early will be stepping to the line for a 1-and-1. Checking into the game for SMAC Akron, Benninger. As Early steps up to the line for a 1-and-1, misses the front end, and it's rebounded by SMAC Akron. So not able to do anything with that 1-and-1 or the Speed, and back comes SMAC Akron on offense. Over it comes into the right corner. That's a 3-point look. That's up. That's no good. And it's rebounded by Wood. Wood's got it for the Speed. Wood up ahead to Borman. Borman picks up a dribble, but she decides to dribble with it, and she takes it over into the front court. And they're going to say that the teammate she passed it to Early was out of bounds. There it is again. We've seen it so many times. The demon of a lot of teams, as Mahoney is going to check into the ball game for the Cincy Speed, checking out Early. Into the right corner. That's a short corner shot. That's a 2-point shot, and it's no good. Rebounded by Wood. Wood over to Borman. Borman up ahead. Borman underneath, and stolen away. What a job there by SMAC Akron. That was number 14, Accord, on that steal. Back they come on offense. Into the right corner. That's a 3-point shot. That's up and good. That's Rodriguez for 3. It's 26-18. SMAC Akron leads the Speed. Augsburger has it and gets it ahead of Borman. Borman into the paint. She goes up and no good. And is rebounded by Tebby. There's a short corner shot. That's up. That's no good. Rebounded by SMAC Akron. They've got it. It's a 2-on-1 advantage right now. It's a 3-on-1 advantage. Into the short corner and getting fouled on her way up. And so she's going to go to the line, and she is going to shoot 2. That foul on number 12, Mahoney. And it'll be SMAC Akron stepping up to the line for a pair. That's Benninger. First shot up and good. 27-18 the score. SMAC Akron leading the Speed now. Stoley in and Borman out. It's Crookston out for SMAC Akron and number 1 McKnight back in. And 2-2 at the line. SMAC Akron up by 10. It's their largest lead of the ball game. Stoley got it for the Speed. Up ahead she comes. Over to the left and almost losing it out of bounds. And they say they do lose it out of bounds. So Wood had trouble fielding that ball. And it's going to come back to SMAC Akron with 2.5 to play here in the first half of this 8th grade girls game. Helton getting ready to check back in for the Speed. SMAC Akron on offense. It's a cord. Over to the left wing. Cross-court pass. That's up, and that's an air ball. And it's taken by SMAC Akron. Saved by SMAC Akron, but it's actually Tebby who has it for Cincy Speed. Speed now ahead, and getting called for the travel is Tebby. So it's going to be Cincy Speed getting called for the travel, and SMAC Akron will get this ball back as Helton checks back in. Checking out will be Wood. So SMAC Akron on offense. And having it taken away from them are the Akron team. Tebby ahead, and she has it blocked. What a nice block there on the part of SMAC Akron. And there's a scrum for that loose ball, and who's that possession arrow favor? It's going to favor the Cincy Speed. But what a good defensive play there by Accord. She just got her hand up there and knocked that ball away. As checking out for her speed is Tebby. Inbounds to Helton. Helton with a pump fake and a drive, and up and good. So she stops the bleeding for the Speed. And it's back to an 8-point lead for SMAC Akron. Minute and a half to go in the first half of this one. Into the right corner it comes. SMAC Akron. That's a wide open three-point look. That's up. That's no good. Rebounded on the offensive side by SMAC Akron. And getting that rebound was number 8, Kirks. And I do believe she is going to go to line for a two-shot situation, I should say. Wood getting ready to check back in for the Speed as the first shot is up, and that's no good for Kirks. That shot up, that's also no good. So 0 for 2, that trip to the line as SMAC Akron loses it out of bounds. They had a chance at an offensive board there, weren't able to get it though, and it's going to come back to the Speed now.
41,
Stoley with it, playing the point. Outside to Mays. Mays up top. Over to Mahoney. Mahoney. Back up top to Mays. Underneath to Oxberger. Oxberger going to pass it outside to Mahoney. Back outside to Wood. And over to Mays. Mays, bounce pass underneath. Hook shot, no good for Oxberger. And it's going to come back to Akron. SMAC Akron with it now. Up by 8. On the drive on the baseline. Passing it back. And up top. Passing up the three-point shot. There's a three-point look for Bettinger. No good. Rebounded by Akron. Offensive rebound for them. McKnight has it up top. McKnight on the drive is going to get fouled. Nope, she's going to be called for a travel, so it's going to come back to the Speed. So the Speed are going to have it now on offense. With 24 seconds to go in the first half. Underneath to Oxberger. She lays it up, and she lays it in there. Oxberger, Caitlin Oxberger, a big bucket there to cut this lead to half a dozen. 28-22, SMAC Akron leading the Cincy Speed. Underneath. Putting it up, and good. So Kirks answers for SMAC Akron, and it's a 3-2-1. Mahoney is not going to be able to do anything with it, and that will do it for this first half of play. The score, 30-22. SMAC Akron leads the Cincy Speed back with the second half. And back here to the action. It's a 30-22 advantage for SMAC Akron. They lead Cincy Speed. And this should be a good second half. Two very good teams here on the 8th grade girls level. It's SMAC Akron to control it to begin this half. And that's Rodriguez. Going to be called for a travel, so it's going to come back to the Speed. That's exactly how you would like this half to begin if you're a Speed fan, not so much if you're a SMAC Akron fan. You'd like to see them take advantage of that situation. SMAC Akron, coached by Coach McKnight. The Speed, Coach Brian Mahoney. Helton inside, and she's going to get fouled on her way up. And so Helton will go to the line for a two-shot situation. Helton's first shot is up, and it sinks. Good. So the Speed cut the lead to 7 for SMAC Akron. Helton's second shot is up, and it rims out on her. That's rebounded by SMAC Akron. So Helton 1 for 2. That trip to the line, and up ahead comes SMAC Akron. Kirks into the corner. That's a three-point shot. That is good. SMAC Akron 4-3. That was Bettinger. Bettinger sinks that three-pointer, and it's now a 10-point lead for SMAC Akron, 33-23. Early on the drive, she puts it up. That's an air ball, and that's taken by Augsburger, and that's Wood who ends up with it for the Cincy Speed. And there's a pass to, well, I think she was looking at Broerman, but Broerman wasn't there, so it goes to SMAC Akron. And there's a drive. That's up. That's a shot. That's no good, and that is going to be a loose ball. Who's going to end up with it? Will it be a jump ball? I do believe it will be a jump ball, and that should favor the Cincy Speed as SMAC Akron began this half with possession of the ball. That's Helton. And out of bounds it goes, and that will be going back to SMAC Akron off an errant pass. Over to the right wing in Bettinger. Into the right corner it comes, and that's stolen away by the Speed. Nice steal there by Tebby, and then it's given back to SMAC Akron. There's a shot, that's up, that's no good, but stepping to the line will be number 8, Kirks. She will go to the line after that foul. That's the first team foul for the Speed. SMAC Akron also has one team foul in the early part of this second half. We're 12-17 to go in the second half. Kirks stepping to the line, looking to expand her team's 10-point lead. Kirks' first shot is up, and it's a swish. As Wood checks back in for the Speed, checking out will be Augsburger. Kirks getting ready for a second shot here. There's a second shot by Kirks, and it falls. Nothing but the bottom of the net. It's a dozen-point lead here for SMAC Akron. It's 35-23. To Helton. Helton on the drive. She puts it up, and she's going to get fouled, so she's going to step back to the line. This will be her second trip to the line this half. She went 1 for 2 her first trip, and there's the second team foul on SMAC Akron this half. The first one was also on Helton. So back goes Helton, and that first one falls for her. Second shot for Helton up, and second shot no good. So both times she's made the front end of that two-shot situation and missed the back end. 35-24 the score. Akron over Cincy. 35-24 the score. It's an 11-point lead for SMAC Akron. Underneath, that's a low post. Posts up, puts it up. That's no good. Rebounded by Wood. And back comes Cincy Speed now. That's Pledger. Pledger gives it off to Early. Early spins, and that's a 3-second violation. That's going to be on Helton. So SMAC Akron bringing the ball up the floor. That's a cord. Over to the right, and Bettinger. Bettinger. Back up top. That's Crookston giving it back to Bettinger. There's a three-point shot. That's up, and it's good! Rodriguez was bumped too, but Rodriguez still made that three-point shot. 38-24, 14-point lead. Akron on top of Cincy. Brorman on the baseline. Gives it up. And before the steal, there was a timeout called by Coach Mahoney and the Cincy Speed. And so, with that being the case, and 10:54 left here in the second half, we'll be back right here at GBA TV. Back to the action here. 10:54 to go. Cincy Speed on the inbounds pass, and that's Wood, and she's going to be called for a travel. And it's going to come back to SMAC Akron. SMAC Akron, low post, and there's a loose ball. Back outside to Bettinger, and that's a two-point shot. That's no good, and it's taken by the Speed, who then lose it out of bounds. But nope, they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds by SMAC Akron, so it will be Cincy Speed's ball. Pledger to bring the ball up the floor for the Speed. Pledger up top. Inside, that's stolen away. Errant pass by Pledger. Back comes SMAC Akron. That's a Cord who dishes it underneath. And there's a roll pass. And outside it comes. SMAC Akron resets. McKnight over to a Cord. A Cord with Mahoney on her. Into the right corner and Bettinger. Low post. Pivoting. Spinning. Shooting. No good. Taken by Brorman. Brorman pushing it up ahead. Brorman's going to take it herself. Brorman into the lane. Brorman going to be called for a travel. And Coach Mahoney not too happy with that one. He says that she just took a really long stride, but the zebra shirt is the one that counts. (38-24) the score. Onto the left wing. Up top, outside to Kirks. Kirks into the low post. She's going to put it up and miss that shot. Rebounded by Helton. And that's a foul on number 8. That is a foul on Kirks. That is SMAC Akron's third team foul. Checking out Pledger. And checking in Stoley. So Maya Pledger out for the Cincy Speed, in Abby Stoley. Underneath to Helton. Helton back outside to Stoley. She'll attempt a three, and that's an air ball. That's short. A Cord on the rebound. Pushing it up ahead. Outside. That's a shot. That is up, and that is short. Rebounded there, and up, and good, and one. That's a two-point bucket by Kirks. Check that. That's Henniger. The score 40-24 with a chance to make it a 17-point lead for SMAC Akron. First shot up, well, the only shot I should say, and it's good for Henniger. And it's now 41-24. It's a SMAC Akron advantage with just a little under 9 minutes to go here in the second half. It's Helton on offense for the speed, spinning into the lane and up, and I do believe that that ball was tipped. And it's going to come back the other way. They're going to say that that was off of Helton. And so it's SMAC Akron's ball once again. SMAC Akron on offense. Henniger in the right corner, dishing it up top to Crookston onto the left wing. And she gives it off to Accord. Accord up top. She's got Mahoney on her. And, oh, there's a miscommunication. That's going to cost Akron this possession. It's going to come back to Cincy Speed. And she threw it behind the intended receiver. She was expecting a zig, and that intended receiver zagged, and that's why it's going to come back to the Cincy Speed on offense. Paige Broerman loses it, but Mahoney's there to corral it. Over to Mays. That's Broerman with it now. Broerman on offense. She's going to drive it and pass it. And driving it baseline and then losing it is Mays. Boy, I tell you what, she had a wide open path to the bucket. And it's going to go out of bounds. Fortunate situation there for Hannah Mays because I tell you, she had a clean path to that basket, then lost control of it. And lucky for her, it went off of an Akron player and out of bounds. So inbounds it comes to Wood. Over to Broerman. Up top to Mays. On to the left and Mahoney. Mahoney with a drive, dishes it to Wood. Wood gets a pick from Mahoney. She's going to shoot it from the foul line. That's long off the back of the iron, rebounded by the shooter Wood. Back over to Mahoney. That's short. That's going to be rebounded by SMAC Akron, it looks like. And there she comes down the other end, putting it up and missing it on the lay-in attempt. That was number 11, Schaefer. And Cincy Speed's got it again on offense. That's Mays with it. She gets it over to Mahoney. So a lot of action here in the second half. Mays into the left and Stoley, who drives it baseline. And Stoley's going to lose it out of bounds, but they're going to say it was off an Akron player, and so it will remain Cincy Speed's ball. 7:11 to go. Oh, thank heaven. It's a second half situation here. 8th grade basketball, GBA style. Oxberger in, Wood out for Cincy Speed. 41-24. Handoff to Broerman. Underneath to Oxberger, who's going to dish it outside to Mahoney. Up top to Mays. Over to the left and Stoley. Stoley's going to drive it and dish it to Broerman, who will attempt a three-pointer, and no good. Rebounded there by SMAC Akron. That's Schaefer on the rebound. Back they come on offense. Schaefer has it up top, guarded by Stoley. Schaefer is going to give it off to number 10, and the number 10 is Henniger. That's a foul on number 2, Mays. And so McKnight will go to the line, and she will be shooting a pair. McKnight at the foul line. First shot is up, and it's good. You know, one thing that I've really noticed about this entire Akron team, they're all very proficient at the charity stripe. You can tell that that is a big point of emphasis for Coach McKnight and this Akron team, because it just seems like everybody who steps to the line just has great form. And there's proof positive of that. It's a 19-point advantage for SMAC Akron. They have this big lead. So Speed's got a lot of ground to make up and a little under 7 minutes to make it up in. As Broerman has it for the Speed. Underneath it comes to Oxberger. Oxberger gets it deflected out of bounds, and it will remain on this end as Tebby checks back in for the Cincy Speed. Checking out will be Broerman. Inbounds to Mays. Up top to Early. Early, a long three-pointer, and it's good! Josie Early from way downtown. 43-27 the score. Back to Crookston for Akron. She puts it up. That's short, off the front of the iron. And there's a loose ball. There's a scrum for that loose ball, and it ends up in Akron's hands. In the left quarter, there's a three-point look. That's short. Rebounded by Tebby. Tebby pushing it up ahead for the Cincy Speed. Over to Mays on the left side. She's going to drive it, and she's going to get fouled on her way up. And that is a foul on number 34, Rodriguez. So it does indeed look like Danielle Tebby is going to step to the line for a pair of foul shots. Hannah Mays. First shot up, and it's good. That's the 4th point for Mays. And a timeout on the floor with 6 minutes even to play in the second half. The score, 43-28. SMAC Akron leads the Cincy Speed. Back after this timeout right here on GBA TV.
This is Tom Strasser from GBA TV Studios at the 14th Annual Celtic Classic here at Dublin Jerome. And you're watching GBA TV on Facebook and YouTube, where you are watching over 20 hours of live streaming games as well as interviews from players and coaches here at the Celtic Classic.
Back to the action here with Hannah Mays stepping up to the free throw line for her second of 2 opportunities. She made the first. Second shot is up, and it's no good, and it's going to be rebounded there by SMAC Akron. (43-28), under 6 minutes to play here in the second half. Akron with this 15-point advantage. Underneath to Crookston, back outside it comes. That's a 3-point look. That's a high arcing shot that's going to be taken by a SMAC Akron player who was Jill on the spot down there. That was Schaefer for 2, and it's 45-28. Driving it is Early, and she's fouled on her way up. That foul on Kirks, I do believe. I do believe the referee said 8. As Stoley positioned herself at the foul line there. As Josie Early gets set for a pair of free throws. By the way, that's the 4th team foul on my count on Akron. Josie Early's first shot is up. Swish. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 45-29. McKnight in, Kirk's out. Early second shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. Very good form there by Early. 45-30. Henniger. Underneath the hoop it goes, and going to the foul line will be McKnight. McKnight at the foul line. We're at 5:17 to play here in the second half. The score 45-30 as McKnight is short on that first free throw. She is 2 of 3 now as Helton checks in and Augsburger checks out. Second shot for McKnight is good. It rolls right in there, so she's 3 of 4. That's a 75% day. Not too shabby from the foul line. And it's a 46-30 game. Helton underneath. And they're going to wave off the bucket, but Helton will be going to the line. Yep, check that. It's a non-shooting situation. And out of bounds it goes. So the Speed have it. Underneath to Helton. Nice bounce pass inside. Helton has it blocked. She gets her own shot back. There's a long three-pointer. That's no good. Rebounded by Early on the offensive glass. So a couple of offensive boards here for the Cincy Speed as underneath it goes, and that was off of number 2 Crookston, and it remains Cincy Speed's ball. Inbounds, underneath the hoop, and looking for somebody to pass to, having it stolen away. That's number 10, Henniger, excuse me. There's a Bettinger and a Henniger on this Akron team, so Akron has it. That's number 11, Schaefer with it. She dishes it to Rodriguez. On to the left wing, that's number 8, Kirks. And back over to Crookston. She loses it. Pushing it up the floor. That's Mays. Mays driving it, putting it up, and no good. Rebounded there by Tebby, and Tebby is fouled hard from behind. So Danielle Tebby is going to go to the foul line to shoot two. She was fouled hard from behind. (46-30). With a chance for Tebby to cut into this Akron lead. First shot is up and it's long off the back of the iron. Tebby's second shot. That's also no good. And it's rebounded by Akron. Back they come on offense now. Up ahead to Henniger. Over to McKnight. McKnight on the drive. She's going to put it up, fading away. No good. Rebounded there. And that's no good on that offensive second shot opportunity. And back comes Cincy Speed on offense. Up ahead to Stoley. Stoley's going to drive into the lane. Pass it back outside. That's a three-point attempt. That's up. That's no good for Mays. And it's taken by Akron. That is McKnight on the rebound. Akron has it, pushing it up ahead with 4:14 to go. And there's a collision, and it looks like both players are okay. And that's good to see. That collision between number 10 for Cincy Speed, Josie Early, and number 11 for Akron, that's Schaefer. But both players appear to be okay. Early comes over. She says to Coach Mahoney that she's okay. Inbounds it comes. On the left side, and McKnight. McKnight on the drive, putting it up. That's no good. Rebounded by the Speed. That's Mays who has it. Up ahead to Stoley. Stoley one-on-one with Schaefer, and she loses it. And there's a loose ball, and it's Schaefer who ends up with it. And there's a timeout called, and timeout granted. So good job there by that sideline of Akron to call that timeout before a traveling violation could be called with 3:47 to go. It's a 16-point lead. SMAC Akron 46, Cincy Speed 30. Back after this on GBA TV. And it's a loose ball situation. Akron's got it. They're pushing the ball up the floor. Kirks, guarded by Helton. Up top to Schaefer. And she hands it off to number 14. That's a Cord. Over the right wing, and Kirks with Helton on her. Back to Kirks. A nice move by her. She drives it to the hoop. Up no good. Man, I'll tell you what, everything was good about that except the finish. As Augsburger has it now for the Speed. Augsburger over to Pledger. Pledger, pump fake. Bounce pass to Helton in the left. Into the paint. That was intended for Augsburger, but it was stolen away. That's Schaefer on the steal. She's fouled on her drive, and that's a foul on the Speed. Inbounds and errant pass. It's a little too far out in front of that intended receiver, Schaefer. And so, with the 16-point deficit, Cincy Speed is going to try to cut into this Akron lead, and they don't have a whole lot of time. We're now under 3 minutes to play in this ball game. Helton. Giving it off to Pledger, to Mahoney. Mahoney up top. Giving it to Brorman. Brorman on the drive. That's a nice move with the left hand, up and good. Good form there by Paige Brorman. That was fundamentally sound basketball right there, putting it up with the left hand on the left side. It's 46-32. Cincy Speed now down by 14, and Akron looking to increase its lead, but Augsburger's there for the rebound off that missed three-pointer. We have a line change coming up here for the Speed. Brorman's got it, and it's It's knocked away by number 14, Accord. The Speed get it back. That's Augsburger having it rejected down underneath the basket. Akron back on offense now. That is Schaefer. Up top, over to the left, and back up top to McKnight. On the right wing, that is Accord. She's got Mahoney on her. Into the right corner, and saving it from going out of bounds is Akron. And there's a loose ball. There's a scrum for that loose ball. It ends up in the hands of Akron. That's Kirks with it now. Kirks underneath to McKnight. McKnight, nice little hesitation, and one. Count the bucket and the foul. McKnight's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. We're at 1:49 to go in this one. So McKnight steps up to the foul line, takes the shot, makes the shot. She's now 4 of 5 from the charity stripe on this one. It's a 49-32 game. The Speed on offense. Minute and a half to go in this one. Early with it. Early. Over to Mays. Cross-court pass to Wood. Up top to Pledger. And a timeout called by the Speed. I do believe that is their final timeout. And that timeout comes with a minute 22 to go in this half. (49-32) is the score. And we'll be back right here on GBA TV. Back here to the action. It's Akron 49, Cincy 32. It's a 17-point lead for Akron here with under 2 minutes to play. There's Pledger on offense for the Speed. Pledger with it. Maya Pledger. And she's going to get tied up. Pass it to Mays before a jump ball can be called. Mays into the lane, and she's met by heavy traffic. Akron with it now. That's Accord on offense. Accord's going to pull up. Accord's going to take it to the top. Accord's going to have it almost stolen away by Early, but Accord's able to hang on to it. Accord. Over it comes to Kirks. Underneath, back to Accord. Nice cut up, and doesn't get it to fall, but man, what a nice cut that was, and a nice looking shot. Back comes Cincy Speed on offense. That is Early into the corner. Early outside to Pledger. Pledger up top to Mays, and she gives it back to Early. Early drives the baseline underneath the hoop, and nice looking lay-in there by Josie Early. Wow, 49-34. It's Akron on top by 15. And now we are under 30 seconds to play. 29, 28, 27. And there's a trip, and Early and Henniger take to the floor. Both seem to be okay. That's the second collision Early's been involved in here this half. But she seems to be okay. And that's Henniger who will be stepping up to the free throw line. She's 1 of 1 this half. And that one rims out on her. Pledger pushing it back down the floor. Pledger into the corner. Quick shot there for Mays. That's no good. Rebounded by Akron. And with 10 seconds to go, Akron's got it back. And they're at 8, 7, 6, 5. That's Accord with it. She's going to look to dribble it out. And that will do it. That will be the final score, 49-34. That's a win for SMAC Akron over Cincy Speed. And we'll be back with more right here on GBA TV.